Hey y'all, welcome back to our weekly video series. I'm Peyton and I'm joined by Corey and Yaila. And today we are on part 3 of our 3-part video series on how to open your third eye. So if you missed it, in our first video, we covered what it means to open your third eye. In our second video, we covered some of the common myths and misunderstandings about the entire process. And today we are getting to the good stuff. Today we are talking about how do you actually do it. So Yaila, how do we open our third eye? What's the secret?
Oh, inquiring minds want to know. It's so funny because I had a call from somebody recently and he was like, so I want to open up my third eye. What do I do? And I'm like, well, you can start with meditation. And before I could even finish speaking, he was like, oh, like, I don't want to. And it made me laugh so hard because for me, opening up my third eye only came about because I started a consistent meditation practice. So if I could offer any advice, it would be to one, opening up your third eye requires you to learn how to first ground in your own energy, meaning you and I are exchanging, or people that you come across throughout your day, throughout your week, you're taking on their energy, they're taking some of your energy, you're giving it away. And for us to open up our third eye and actually be able to tap into the energies that we are receiving through our clear senses, we kind of have to clear our space first. So learning how to be grounded in your own energy and clear out the other energy out of your space, it kind of takes getting grounded first to be able to open up that higher chakra. So get grounded, clearing out energy out of your space. You're working with the whole chakra system. So every chakra in our body, from the root all the way up past the seventh, and we actually have more chakras than that. But if you're focusing on the body chakras, clearing those out, clearing out your space, this is an amazing first start. It's almost like trying to paint a new painting over like a canvas that's already been painted. If there's artwork already there, it's hard to really create and really get clear on what you're trying to create for your own space. Same thing with your body. You want a clear canvas, or at least as clear as you possibly can. A great way to do that is meditation. And all three of us teach classes on helping you to clear your space first and foremost. We also have meditations on how to help you do that. So depending on where you're starting off in your journey, I highly recommend putting together some type of consistent meditation practice and focusing on clearing your space of other energies that are not yours, or even old stuff that you've grown out of. That's going to help you be more clear and understand what you're actually receiving. So energetically setting your space is huge. A consistent meditation practice where you are focusing on how to train yourself to be here in that third eye is also key. A lot of us are feeling and sensing the world around us from those lower body chakras, the second and the third. So once you kind of learn how to clear out the whole chakra system, you also want to teach yourself to be right here behind your third eye, right there in the center of your head. When I look at a lot of people's energy, majority of the people out there are outside of their body. Their awareness is kind of off to the future, the next thing, sometimes in the past, sometimes floating out of their body if they're uncomfortable in their body for some way, shape, or form. It could be from trauma. It could be actual physical pain that your body is going through. So teaching yourself how to be right there behind your eyes is also part of the process on opening up and connecting to that space in your body. So our second and third chakra, those are those feeling chakras, right? So you've probably felt this before, where you just have a gut feeling about something. That is your clairsense coming in. However, you might just be feeling the world, and to really understand what's going on, or even if it's your energy, being able to see it from a more neutral place up here in your third eye is extremely helpful. So that's another way to open up your third eye. I found when I was in my process, once I started taking a consistent class, well, all three of us are probably going to say, take a class. Taking a class that is designed to help you connect to your clear senses, whether it's a clairvoyant class like we teach, or some other type of energy work class. There's Kundalini classes. I mean, there's different ones out there. See what resonates with you. But taking a specific class that is designed to help you learn to be in that space is extremely important. That your consistency is key. So it's not just like in our last video, we talked about, it's not just a one and done process. This is a regular process. Just like if you take a shower, it's not like you're never going to shower again. Like you're going to take, probably daily showers, if not every couple of days, hopefully. The world around you would appreciate it. I'm sure your body would appreciate it too. So same thing with your opening up your third eye. It's learning to strengthen those muscles, your clear senses, however they come in for you, and understanding what's coming for you too also helps by being in a class with somebody who's been there, who can guide you how to do it. It's probably the safest way to help you really expand your tools, learn your tools, and learn how to protect your energy. Because once you open up that third eye, you're kind of like a lighthouse to energy. And if you don't know how to control, protect your space, or be seen in your space, there's a lot of other energies out there that you can interact with that you may not be privy to. So classes is the number one thing beyond just doing your own meditation practice. Another way to open up your third eye is looking at how you're fueling your body. So my background before I got into the energy work was on the nutrition level. So I found when I was in the clairvoyant program, I was naturally not drinking as much because I noticed for my body, if I had any kind of hard alcohol, my body would throw it up. Like my body was just not having it. It was not having a good time on it. And I even noticed, now that I've kind of been through that initial journey of opening up that third eye, I'm still extremely sensitive to alcohol, and I can feel a fogginess in my own space when I have some of those, more toxic substances in my body. So for me, it was alcohol. Everybody's a little bit different on that aspect. For other people, it's certain type of chemicals, I know there's a lot of my students that are very sensitive to like EMFs, those, electronic waves that are in our space with like Wi-Fi and things like that. So really being able to have your body space be as clear as possible. So eating those really high vibrational foods, those living foods, helps your body just run at more optimal levels. And then also your physical space around you is really important. So having your own home, not a lot of clutter around you, because that's pulling your energy to all these other things. And it's hard to be focused in your grounded center if your energy is kind of being pulled in all these different directions. As well as when you sleep, trying to sleep without the TV on or your cell phone right next to your head. A lot of these things will help you to connect in a more clear way to yourself and open up that third eye. So I'm going to start with that. But how about you, Corey?
Well, Yaila, that was great. Okay, video done. No, actually, Yaila, that was amazing. You hit on a lot of points. So how do I feel about opening up and how to open up your third eye? Well, you could have a near-death experience. Not recommended, though. That is one way to do it. And there are people who do have near-death experiences that open up their third eye, but I wouldn't recommend. Okay, so how do you open up your third eye? One of the things that I had a really hard time with was that, I was always on the go, go, do. And, I was saying to the universe, and it was interesting because probably a good 6 months before I even took a class I was saying to the universe, God, I really want to meditate. I know it would be good for me. I know I probably should do it, but I can't stay still long enough to do it. And so I tried, a few guided meditations, just getting, everybody was saying, oh, just, get your mind still. I'm like, not going to happen with this girl. So I was trying it. I was really trying it. So it ended up that I signed up for a clairvoyant program. And I actually did it for my daughter because she's so sensitive. but she couldn't take it by herself because she was too young at that point. So I said, okay, sure, I'll sign up. Well, it ended up that this whole 6-month clairvoyant program was taught through meditation. And I was like, okay, universe, you're good. That was a good one. Funny. I have to say that it was a huge difference in my life. Not just meditating here or there, but having a meditation practice, a spiritual practice. It could be yoga, meditation, any form of meditation that gets you out of your mind is how to open up your third eye. Because we live in such an instant gratification world, and we want everything now, and we want it big, and we want it now. Opening up your third eye doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. Unless, of course, you've had a near-death experience, but we won't go there again. It made such a huge difference. And also too is, I loved what you said, Yaila, about being in your body, grounded in your body, because I had no idea that I wasn't in my body. I was always so busy. I was suffering from PTSD and trauma, and I was never in my body. So I couldn't open up my third eye because I wasn't in my body. So discovering that I wasn't in my body and then working on being in my body and still was huge on opening up my third eye. And it's not a one and done. Like I said, I did 6 months of it. So finding a spiritual practice is really important on how to, on how to open up your third eye. We're all big advocates of, taking classes, like Peyton says, finding a mentor, because, there's some trickster spirits out there that will just be like, oh, it's like a bug to a light, oh, their light's on. And, you might encounter a spirit being that you don't want to encounter. So having that training in classes is really important, because it is about the journey in opening up your third eye, and there's many modalities, there's mediumship, there's clairvoyant, yoga, there's just a lot of things out there now to help you open up your third eye. So that's about all I have for now. Peyton?
Yeah, I agree so much with both of you, which is no surprise because we were trained very similarly. But I think that you guys have highlighted that there's many different ways to go about this. And this is not just a single step thing that you do to open your abilities, but it's a holistic process. And I definitely agree that the most valuable thing you could do to start this process is to have some sort of stillness or meditation practice. It's no accident that all three of us started with a meditation practice. So there's no way around the fact that in order to hear your intuition, your intuitive abilities, get those great downloads that we all want to get, you have to be quiet. You have to be out of the monkey mind. Because as my guides used to harass me about endlessly when I was just starting, they said, we can't get to you if you're in the monkey mind, because the monkey mind will talk over any sort of downloads that are coming in. So there's a reason why all of us are big fans of meditation, and also say it's kind of a step you can't skip. And I know so many people hate to hear that because some people just really struggle to meditate. But there are meditation modalities out there for people who have struggled, for people who struggle to meditate. So if sitting in silence is just a no-go for you, try a guided meditation, try a breathing exercise, anything to just get you out of that churning mind. That's the whole point. Your meditation can be working out. It can be going for a long run. It can be listening to music, although that is a little bit more mental stimulation sometimes. But if you have to start somewhere and nothing's working, soothing music can be helpful. But it really is, and this is something my guides talk about all the time, critical to get out of the mind, because you can't hear what's coming in if you are out in the future, out in the past, everywhere but the present moment. You're just not going to get the information that is coming through. So I totally agree that some sort of stillness practice, whatever works for you, and just keep trying them until you find one. And again, we are not saying you have to meditate for 2 hours a day. We know that doesn't work with everyone's schedule, but 5 or 10 minutes, everybody can do that. I mean, come on, guys, we're all busy, but anybody can do 5 or 10 minutes a day. I actually had one client who had to use her bathroom breaks to do her meditation because it was the only time that she could get alone. But if you want to do it, you'll find a way to do it. And that is going to pay the biggest return for you, is to have some sort of stillness practice. The other thing that I agree with the ladies on is, and you hear us talk about this all the time, get proper training. This is one area, and I'm such a huge fan of being a do-it-yourselfer, so I get it. But there are very strong reasons why we encourage you to do this properly, to have a mentor, a class, a teacher, someone who is guiding you and looking over your shoulder. And there's a reason for that, and that is the safety aspect of this. And that is not to put anyone in fear, but just as you would not go invite just any random stranger over to dinner at your house, you don't want to just randomly open up your energy field, because there are same unsavory energies in the spirit world as there are in the human world. And you really want to be safe, you want to be protected. And as we said earlier, you want to be sovereign in your space. So the safety the importance on safety is really, I can't overstate that. So that's one of the reasons we always encourage people get proper training from whatever teacher resonates with you. And there's countless modalities. They will all help you to open your third eye, but doing it with proper supervision can make you go much faster and have a much better experience than I tried to do it myself for many years and really didn't get very far. It wasn't until I really buckled down and invested in teachers and classes that my abilities took off. Really, it took me, I made more progress in 6 months being guided by a teacher than I did in 8 years trying to do this myself. So there's a reason why we always say teachers, classes, training is very, very helpful. Now, the one thing that I would add to this discussion that the ladies didn't mention is coming from my background as a channel. And so if you are someone who is interested in channeling, maybe you channel yourself, or you're very interested in connecting with your spirit guides, with angels, with multidimensional beings, it can be very helpful to do a practice called decalcifying your pineal gland. And this is something that I learned through my channeling coaches. And there are a number of different practices you can do to clarify, to clean off your pineal gland, which of course is in the center of our head, behind our third eye chakra, and it is the multidimensional processor of our body. But what happens, because we live in such a toxic, polluted world and drink all sorts of things that we shouldn't be drinking, and all of those environmental toxins tend to calcify our pineal gland according to the guides. So one thing that my teachers encouraged me to do was do a little bit of research to some practices you can do to decalcify that. That can be very helpful in opening your third eye. So there are several things out there that you can research if you are interested in doing that. There are supplements that you can take, anything from organic sulfur to various other things that you can look into. Always do your own research, see what resonates with you. Many of my teachers recommended, reducing fluoride in my diet. There are some great, videos you can watch out there on that if decalcifying your pineal gland is of interest to you. So I encourage you to do a little bit of research on that. because I found my channeling really kicked into a whole new level when I started to focus on decalcifying my pineal gland. And that was one of the first things that some of the beings that I channel with had me work on. They would do meditations with me where they taught me how to bring more light into my third eye chakra, my pineal gland, and it really did help my abilities open up very dramatically. So do a little research on that if that catches your attention. Not necessary for everyone, but if you're someone who's interested in the channeling aspect, or even just connecting with your guides more, having more of that telepathic type relationship with your guides, it can be helpful. So I would throw that out there as well. Let's see, is there anything else that I would add that you girls didn't cover? I think those are I think I'm pretty much on the same boat with you guys. I would do it the same way you're recommending. Any last thoughts? No? Well, great. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning into our first 3-part video series. Make sure you catch part 1 and part 2 if you didn't do that yet. And as always, we're so grateful for you. Thank you for your likes, your subscribes, and your follows. Always let us know if you have a topic suggestion, a question that we have not answered yet. You know where to find us. Our links are at the bottom of the screen. And we'll see you next time. Bye.